Hey everybody, how's it going? Crypto Shaped here. Finally got some GPUs in. Gonna do a quick video here. We're gonna fill these last two risers we have in the 1660 rig in this case. Probably give you a quick update on a parts list since that was requested also. Alright, let's get to it. So I went ahead and shut down the rig through Hive OS. I stopped it first to let it cool off, and then gave it the go ahead to shut down after all the GPUs were cooled. That's how I like to do it. I like to go up to the little pickaxe symbol in Hive OS and then hit stop miner, and then let the rigs cool down to ambient temperature, and then went ahead and hit the shutdown in Hive OS. So now the rig's shut down. I got a 1660 Super, and then I have the 1660 Ti, which will go in this rig. So it'll be a mixed rig, but they're all EVGA 1660 family. Let's get these two cards in here and the cable wired up, and then let's turn this rig back on and see what happens. Alright guys, I have the other two cards in and got them wired up, and I went ahead while I was here is I moved this power switch that was on the inside of the case. I still need to find a solution to that, so I think I've come up with something that might work. I have to do a little bit more research on it, but basically I would be making a custom cable, possibly a circuit board or PCB, to interface with the parallel miner game changer board. They have a port on there that allows you to activate it by wire. So I can use the 24 pin on the motherboard, or actually I'd have to use that port on the power supply to turn that on, and then activate the 24 pin on the two pins on the 24 pin on the motherboard to activate it. That way I can hit one button on the front, it turns the parallel miner board on and the motherboard with one button. Right now I have to hit the power button on the parallel miner board and then come and hit this button. That's why it was inside. So I'll have to look into that, but I think that I might have a solution for that, and if that does work, then that will probably be on my website also, so other people can use the same thing. Basically hit one button, turns on both boards. So, but we'll talk about that in a later video. As like I stated in the past, that's the point of these videos, is to document it as I go and document the problems that I find as I go, and then try and find a solution for them and offer them to everybody else in the community, whether it's free or if it's gonna cost me money. I mean, I'm not making any money on a lot of things I have on my store right now. It's more of a break even and just paying for my time, and that money goes right back into the community anyways. It brings these videos to you guys and allows me to grow with the community. So let's get this turned back on and see what comes up in Hive OS. We're in Hive OS here, and we have the GPUs dialed in pretty much where I want them. I think this Ti, it needs a little help, but I'm not too worried about it at this point. It's running. This has actually been running 7 days now, and everything seems to be pretty good. I'm pretty happy with most of these temperatures. And I think, I'd like to be around 60 degrees is okay with me. Once I start getting into 65, I worry. 61 I'm not, but 65 is getting pretty close to 70, but overall everything's running. This one 1660 mixed rig, as you see. Alright everybody, over here on the computer, and this is a quick spreadsheet that I put together with all the parts, the server cases. You can use, I'm using either one of these depending on which one I can get a hold of, and then the server rack and the breakout boards, the power right here. It's the parallel miner breakout board with the power supply, and then the mounting hardware, and then the fans right here, which I will go over. Here's the 4U server case that I'm using, which it looks like it's out of stock. That's why I said there's a couple of them that I switch between, because one will be in stock, the other one won't, and then they're flip-flop. So this is the other one, which the price has actually gone up, but it's the exact same case. The only difference is the amount of bays that are in it. This one has more hard drive bays than this one, which those all come out anyways. Then the server rack that I'm using, which is right here, and I'll have links to all this stuff in the description, and I'm eventually going to make a master spreadsheet that you can just pull up and see what parts I'm using. And then the power supply and the breakout board from Parallel Miner, and then this is the miscellaneous hardware that you might have seen me use in some of the build videos. And then the cap screws, these were used to mount the risers to the riser reel supports, and these were used for the fans to mount the 40 millimeter to the PSU to ATX adapter. And then this is just your obvious miscellaneous motherboard components and fan screws and whatnot. And then the fan, which is on the front, that's the 120 millimeter 5300 RPM. It's not a Delta brand, but it's keeping it cool for me, so I have no issues with this fan. And then that's the 40 millimeter that you've seen on the PSU to ATX adapter plate that I made. So I'll have this stuff all down in the description. The links will be affiliate for Amazon, and the rest are non-affiliate, so I just wanted to disclose that. The affiliation, it just helps me keep the channel going, because I do this full time now, the crypto mining, and I'm trying to get more YouTube content out as I go, but any little bit helps. I do not have a day job at this time, so mining and YouTube and my store, the PCIE riser clips, that's all my main income right now. Alright guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. The next videos you see, I do have more graphics cards. I got enough to build 2 more cases at least. I have more cards than that, but I have enough motherboards and CPUs. I have stuff on order coming, so we will get a couple more cases assembled. So I'll probably have some live streams of the 3D printing. If anybody wants to watch that, that just helps with the YouTube to get me seen, so the watch hours and all that. But also, I've had a lot of requests for the models, the 3D printing models, and I really don't want to 3D print them and sell them. I don't want to get involved with that. That's not why I did it. I did it to streamline these server case builds. So what I came up with is, I think that I will release them when I hit X amount of subs. So I'll set this one at 500 subs. I will release the STL file for the ATX to server PSU adapter, and then shortly after that, I don't know what number. We'll have to think of a number. We can think about this down in the comments, or we'll see how fast this grows as far as me getting subs to show that people are actually interested in this content. I will release the breakout board brackets, and then I do not know what I will do about the riser reel, but if it helps the community, I would be more than happy to release it, being trusting that people aren't going to take it and resell it. That's my point of view. Like, I don't want people to make money off of it. Open source I'm okay with. So we can discuss that later. I might have to set the standards higher on that. Maybe like 5,000 subs. Yeah, right, I'm wishing. If I hit 1,000 subs, I would be happy. So let's end the video on that. We will release some videos. I'll have some short ones probably in between, but we'll release some videos on 2 more rigs. I'll have some in-between videos, like I said, on the 3D printing, and then we will go from there. I guess I'll also update that I am rushing at this point to get the last of the... I have 3 big machines in my shop that are 5,000 pounds or more, so it requires a forklift, and I gotta try to find some buyers for 2 of the machines. I'm keeping one of them for my own R&D, which is a CNC mill, and it doesn't take up too much space, but it gives me milling abilities, because I might switch some of these plastic parts over to like 6061 aluminum, because it's quicker for me to machine them versus 3D print them, and the cost is about the same. So, but I'm rushing to get that stuff out because I want to get the shop cleared out and start shooting the videos in there. I have to get these rigs out of my basement because I am going to be running out of space with the amount of GPUs I'm getting in, and the heat is becoming unbearable down here. So it's a constant 92 degrees almost at all times, and I don't want to do any major modifications to my basement as far as ventilation. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and I am using my new Scarlett USB interface with my Rode podcast mic, so I hope the audio sounds okay, and I will see you guys in the next video.